Now, all development work, all construction work, whether it's a developer, whether it's an individual who is building his own property, requires local authority approval. Now, the authorities vary. It can be a municipal board, it can be a development authority, it can be a municipal corporation, it can be a Gram Panchayat, it can be a Zilla Parishad, and so on and so forth. It all depends on the location of the property and under whose jurisdiction this property comes. So if it is in a rural area, then it might be a Gram Panchayat or a Zilla Parishad that approves. If it is within the development authority regime of a particular city, it will be the Urban Development Authority. And of course, then it comes under the municipality, then there has to be a municipal approval through the municipality or the municipal board. In certain locations, especially for example, if I was to give you one, in a place like Pune, there are military cantonments, and therefore that piece of property or that location or that area comes under a cantonment board. You can have a district collector who is approving the property because his property is under his jurisdiction. So there are different authorities, and of course each location has a particular unique authority that approves the construction. And the approval of that authority as against any other authority is most important. So for example, if it comes under a municipality and if you get Gram Panchayat approval, then that's not really approval, because the authority to approve that property is with the municipality and not with the Gram Panchayat, even if there is a Gram Panchayat in that locality. Now, when you are seeking building approvals, there are a set of typical technical documents that you need to have on place at different stages of the project. One of them is what is called the Intimation of Disapproval, or the IOD. You then have what is called the Commencement Certificate, or the Building License, the license to build, or what is in common parlance called the CC. You then have another CC, but different altogether, which is the Completion Certificate, which, as you can see, is issued when the project is complete or the building is complete, as against this other CC, which is the Commencement Certificate. You then have an Occupation Certificate, or the OC. There are certain laws in each state which have conditions put on building on agricultural land, and therefore what you have is the non-agricultural permission. From the local authority, you then need a possession letter. For the developer to actually construct, he needs environmental clearance, and in certain locations you need permission to go above a certain height, which is called the high-rise permission. Now, when you complete a building, you need certain NOCs before you can hand over possession and before you can say that your project is complete. Here are some of these which you need to know about, both as a buyer and as a lender. The first is drainage completion. You then have road completion, or the inner road completion, or the inside road completions. You then have water completion. You need an NOC from the encroachment department. You need clearance from the lift authorities. Is your lift safe enough? They will test it for weight and for movement. There are definite requirements from a firefighting required in each building. So you need approval from the firefighting authorities. And then of course you have the completion or the occupancy certificate.